The source of the noise is revealed to be Akaza. Akaza tells the demon slayers, "Long time no see. I'm surprised a weakling like you is still alive," causing Tanjiro to yell his opponent's name back. Tanjiro has begun to engage Akaza in a fight. Tanjiro narrowly escapes the blow by using Hinokami Kagura, Fire Wheel, to whip over Akaza. Now behind him, Tanjiro wills himself to slice Akaza's arm off and successfully manages to do so, but is swiftly attacked when Akaza manages to regenerate his arm to his advantage. Tanjiro narrowly avoids his attack by using Hinokami Kagura, Fake Rainbow, and slices Akaza across the face in the process. Akaza regenerates his cut while he stares stunned at Tanjiro's ability. After witnessing this small scuffle, Giyu stands amazed at Tanjiro's techniques, thinking of how his ability is equal to that of a Hashira's. He recalls the snowy day when they first met and how all he could do was beg for his sister's life. Compared to now, Tanjiro can fight without losing his life or dignity. Akaza recalls the final words spoken to him by Kyojuro: "This boy isn't weak, do not insult him," and acknowledges Tanjiro's strength, informing him of his newfound respect for him. Akaza then begins initiating his technique development to fight Tanjiro in a serious manner. Giyu uses water breathing, third form, flowing dance to maneuver around Akaza. Then latter recognizes him as the water Hashira and states it has been 50 years since he last faced a Hashira who used water breathing. Then Akaza uses destructive death, disorder disrupting movement, forcing Giyu to use water breathing 11th form, dead calm, to negate the attack. The upper moon mentions the last water Hashira he faced never used such a form. Tanjiro appears from behind using Hinokami Kagura, raging sun, to slash at Akaza's neck, only for the blow to miss and for the demon to appear behind him instead, about to punch through his neck. When Giyu saves him by slicing off Akaza's arm using water breathing second form, water wheel, Akaza's arm grows back nearly instantly, and Giyu quickly attacks again, followed by Tanjiro using Hinokami Kagura, flame dance. Akaza sees him trying to slice his foot and uses his leg type, crouch splitter, knocking the demon slayers away. Tanjiro tries to parry with his blade, and though he nearly comes out unscathed, Akaza's leg catches Tanjiro's nose slightly, causing him to bleed heavily from the sheer force. Tanjiro crouches down to soak up the pain, leading Giyu to face Akaza alone. Akaza compliments his opponent's sword and asks for his name, only to be denied as Giyu tells him that he does not have a name to tell the demon and that he hates talking, so do not bother. The demon happily responds that he will continually ask him until he gives in, using leg type, explosive flurry, to hit his blade handle, knocking the Hashira away through several walls. Tanjiro sees the impact and calls out to Giyu, only for Akaza to appear alongside him, excited now that he knows his opponent's name. The two swing at each other and Tanjiro uses Hinokami Kagura, Burning Bones, Summer Sun, with Akaza deploying his destructive death, 8-layered demon core in retaliation. Akaza survives the clash unscathed while Tanjiro is forced back, slamming into the wall. Akaza compliments his moves and for training so much in a short period of time. He praises Kyojuro Rengoku for the day of their battle, as Tanjiro was a weakling lying down that night. Now, however, he sees Tanjiro's growth in battle and is excited to face him. Akaza voices his gratitude at Kyojuro's death, as he believes he would have never become stronger than that day, also insulting his belief to remain human. Tanjiro hears these words and, remembering Kyojuro, Shinjuro, and Senjuro, becomes enraged, telling him to stop insulting the former flame Hashira. Akaza is confused, retorting that he is praising the two, while Tanjiro only tells him he is insulting Kyojuro, as well as hating anyone who faces him. The demon claims Tanjiro is misunderstanding, as he only hates the weak. He states that the laws of nature dictate the weak to be eliminated. The demon slayer responds back that the upper rank himself is the product of his wrong views, as he himself was once weak as well and became powerful. Tanjiro yells that the strong protect their weak, then the weak get stronger and help those weaker than themselves, calling it the true laws of nature. He calls Akaza's beliefs unforgivable and voices that he will not let him do as he likes any further. Facing off against Tanjiro, Akaza cannot brush aside the unpleasant feeling Tanjiro gives him. He is unsure why he feels angry fighting him, since he believes Tanjiro is no longer weak, yet he cannot shake the feeling of Tanjiro's eyes, voice, and words cutting into him. At that moment, someone grabs Akaza's shoulder and confirms Tanjiro's words. The person says that while one starts off weak and gets help from everyone around them, one should only compare their progress against themselves, not others. The man tells Akaza that the only thing important is becoming stronger than he was yesterday, and soon he can be the one to help people. Angered, Akaza tries to punch behind him to hit the man, but strikes nothing. Tanjiro sees Akaza punch the air. Suddenly, Akaza angrily mutters, "Tanjiro, you really are extremely unpleasant." Akaza uses destructive death-crushing type 10,000 leaves flashing willow and ruptures the ground around him, with Tanjiro just barely dodging the attack. As he becomes stunned by Akaza's new speed, the demon quickly engages the demon slayer from below and uses his destructive death leg type flying planet thousand wheels. Tanjiro takes the attack and vomits as a result. He tries to resist, wondering how Akaza manages to nearly hit him with every move. All of Akaza's strikes seem to aim for his vital areas, and his attacks seem attracted to them. Tanjiro thinks back to when the demon deployed his technique deployment compass needle, but before he can figure it out, he dodges to the side to escape an oncoming kick. Tanjiro uses the Hinokami Kagura, solar heat haze, but only manages to cut halfway through Akaza's neck, which Akaza heals instantly. However, the upper moon is curious as to how the tip manages to appear hazy before hitting him, asking the demon slayer how he did it. As Tanjiro attempts to use his Hinokami Kagura fire wheel, Akaza catches the blade in his hands. Startled that Akaza will attempt to break it, Tanjiro instantly headbutts the demon, but does not injure Akaza at all. He attempts to kick him, but Akaza continues to grasp the sword. Suddenly, Akaza's hands are sliced off, freeing Tanjiro and his sword as Giyu returns, stating that he's angered at the searing pain in his back and sarcastically thanking the upper moon for blasting him through several walls. As Giyu and Akaza face each other, Giyu comments on the reason he fights. He doesn't want to battle to the best of his ability, and he doesn't like battles where opponents continually swing for fun, but now he had to face someone who overwhelmed him with his first clash. Giyu states that Akaza's senses are all finely tuned and polished. His own senses are now switched on to a state where only the strong battle, and he finally understands that the moments of life in a battle truly test someone's abilities. Tanjiro watches as Giyu unlocks his Demon Slayer mark. He rushes towards Akaza and swings the blade, just missing Akaza's neck. Akaza tries to punch his head off, but the Hashira ducks down and swings again, with the demon bending back to escape the strike. Akaza realizes that Giyu's mark has appeared and his speed has now increased. Giyu uses water-breathing fourth form striking tide and slices through Akaza's forearm. However, Akaza attacked as well and struck the side of Giyu's head. Tanjiro watches the battle, commenting on how Giyu and Akaza are now virtually as fast as each other. Akaza had immediately matched Giyu's newfound power. He knows that in a battle of stamina, humans will lose, and despite this battle taking place, the final goal is to beat Muzan. Tanjiro tries to think how Akaza's attacks managed to be so accurate, and how he can also predict attacks he doesn't see. He immediately remembers the moments Akaza mentioned battle spirit in the battle with Kyojuro. He attempts to define it and recalls the conversation he had with Inosuke. Inosuke claims that battle spirit feels like a stinging sensation where the enemy is aiming for. Tanjiro believes it to be the reason Inosuke could notice Gyutaro's attacks. Inosuke is asked to demonstrate, and he asks Tanjiro to look at a part of his body, which he accurately determines as his right shoulder. As Tanjiro becomes amazed, Inosuke notes that when someone is looking at him with a murderous gaze, it is easier to determine when they will attack, and his whole body will sting if that said attack really wants to kill him. However, he becomes angered that someone looking at him without the intent to kill becomes difficult to notice, remembering how the old lady at the Wisteria house suddenly appeared behind him without him being able to notice. He then reasons that if he battled a demon without showing the intent to kill, it would be easy to kill them. But Tanjiro believes it impossible to kill a demon without showing any kind of intent. Despite remembering it as a childish conversation, Tanjiro notes interesting points within it and tries to use them in the current battle against Akaza. He believes Akaza does sense something in his opponents, and that gives him the edge in combat, but Tanjiro cannot figure out what it is. He tries to think how he can interfere with the destructive death compass needle. Seeing Akaza open from Giyu's blow, he attempts to use his Hinokami Kagura, flame dance on the upper moon's exposed neck, but Akaza catches the blade without seeing it. As a shocked Tanjiro watches helplessly, Akaza mocks him for his open flank and uses his other hand to strike Tanjiro's stomach, but only manages to cut him slightly. At that moment, Tanjiro figures out the entire situation.